You are listening to the Sacred Pathways podcast, stories and wisdom from walking the heart's way. I am your host and co-journer, Sydney Searchwell Simpson, and I am thrilled to walk this journey with you. Bismillah. Let us begin. We are here, the very first episode of the Sacred Pathways podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Before we even dive into this episode, which is really just going to give us a solid foundation of the why for this podcast, I want us to ground into this space together, whether you're listening to this episode immediately after it comes out or years from now. I want us all to have a shared experience to ground into. And so whenever you're ready, you can join me in connecting to the heart space, however feels best to you, through touch, through visualization. And we're just going to take 3 full breaths, directing our awareness to that heart center, our breath to that heart center as well. So breathing in fully as you're ready. Letting it go, however feels good to you. 2 more times, breathing fully in. Releasing. 1 last time, connecting to the heart center. And letting go. Now, we are entering an experiment together, an emerging and unfolding exploration of how to reconnect humanity to the sacred. Not in a paradise that is beyond this earth or this life, but the sacred that forms our reality on this earth and in this experience of life that we are sharing together. It is my intention to create a space that inspires every single one of you, dear listeners, to remember that which is the essence of life that weaves and is woven through us all. It's also my hope that through the conversations and the stories that you hear on this podcast, you may be empowered and inspired to make radical, courageous decisions to walk the way of change your heart knows is possible, and deepen your commitment to letting that sacredness be realized through your sincere efforts. Now, I have many ideas, many inspirations, and many aspirations, but as one who has walked many journeys in this lifetime, I know that magic lies in the openness. So, I begin open to what will emerge through my own sincere effort to make this podcast a landing space, a refuge with what is sacred within and around us as we learn how to walk in and through the dark and uncertain events that are marking our present moment in time. Modern humans are grappling with an inheritance of division, disconnection, and domination that is so potent that it blinds many from seeing and believing that we can be more than what we currently embody. It is even hard for some to believe that humans have a nature beyond one that espouses violence and separation. The spiritual, ecological, social, political, relational discord we are witnessing and participating in is a necessary awakening to the call of change, to the call of transformation, of evolution, the evolution of life, the evolution of human consciousness, the evolution of how we choose to relate to ourselves, the human and beyond human life around us, and to life itself. It is my dear belief that the only way to move through and beyond these times is by reconnecting with that which lives in the heart of us all, a life intelligence more powerful and real than any division, limitation, or separation that our modern way of living validates and depends upon. This life intelligence, God, universe, the mystery, life, is the voice of truth that invites each and every one of us to heed the calls it speaks from within and walk boldly and intentionally as we express and create life. It's almost like this intelligence is a player of an instrument, and there is a chord on this instrument that connects to the heart, the essence of each expression of life, every human, every river, every cell, and they play and orchestrate and direct this life experience with a greater understanding and vision of where life is going. So, when we surrender to the calling of our hearts, we are merging with this life intelligence, whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we call it by the same name or not. This life intelligence and ourselves are all one. 2 years ago, I was initiated into a deeper level of my own heart's way, and I have spent the past year and a half giving my time, my attention, my energy only to understanding what was true to self and what was true to life beyond what I had learned and inherited from systems of domination, capitalism, patriarchy, white supremacy, colonization, and more importantly, the consciousness that allows these systems to thrive. This consciousness has tethered humanity to unliberated ways of being, living, loving, relating, and has most importantly and most detrimentally made us forget who it is that we truly are. I will be journeying this path for the rest of my life, and if you are here, I am so happy to journey with you. I have learned a lot, and I still have more to learn. And I've decided to offer up my own learnings, my own process, alongside the stories and wisdom of others who are walking the sacred pathway of the heart and are creating profound and paradigm-shifting change in the world because of it. Those who walk their heart's path understand something essential to life, yet missing from our modern ways of living, even as they are thrusted into a field of unknowns and questions and may never arrive at the answers that their hearts invite them to explore. However, with sincere effort, they can come to experience intimacy with something innate and dormant seated within us and awaken to the spark of freedom of a soul fully initiated into life. As we journey towards whatever can be birthed from a collective of individuals walking their own ancient path, I thank you for your willingness to journey into the unknown with me and with our storytellers and fellow listeners, all for the possibility of remembering and reconnecting to a way of being on this earth, grounded in the mysteries of truth and the life intelligence embodied through the soul's inherent ability to love. So, why the heart? I feel that the heart holds the medicine that we need. It is the center of love, compassion, courage. Physically, it is an integral life source. It pumps the vital life force of blood throughout our bodies. And spiritually, across many different traditions, it is seen as the home of the divine. It is where we commune and divinity communes within us. The heart's courageous nature invites us to risk towards something. It invites us to take action with the keys that can open doors to new ways of loving and being and building and creating on this earth. The heart's way is a timeless and pathless path, meaning it has always existed as an integral aspect of life, and that there is no map of the path. Each is unique. eternal and expansive, and each can lead us deeper within ourselves while expanding our connection to all that is beyond our individual sense of self. When we are inspired to act on the call of the heart, we are brought fully into the mystery of life, and this path, with all of its uncertainties and challenges and revelations, can expand and connect us to the spiritual heart, where we are eternally communing with the sacred in the all, that which knows the unity of all things. One thing I have learned on this journey over the past 2 years is that we don't live in a world that encourages nor rewards heart connection, but that's where the courage comes in. It takes immense courage to choose to walk a path whose only guarantee is the freedom of truth, and to choose to let go of the need for this path to be approved of or even make sense to worldviews or ways of being that are not conducive to life and life's well-being, nor resonate with the truth in your soul. It's our responsibility to nurture this connection if we feel it is important enough. And we can nurture this connection through many ways, such as refining our awareness, letting go of ways of being and relating that distract us from life's truths, and a consistent practice of attunement to how the heart speaks to us, to how the intelligence of life speaks to us, and through the whole of life. Myself and other wayfinders on this path will share how they connect to the heart and let it lead their lives in this podcast, demonstrating the unity amongst diversity and the power of authenticity. When we expand our capacity to connect with the truths that live in the heart, we expand our capacity to live, to create, to build, to relate, and to lead our way beyond the disconnect and divisions that are polluting life expression. What greater light exists than that of the heart to guide us through these times? What are our hearts whispering to us? What do the unique pathways seated within us know that is grander than our fears and more rooted than the uncertainties we are living through? What do our hearts know about our individual destiny and its place in the unfoldment of life's destiny? No path is the same, but they are sourced from and directed towards the same destination. So, like the heart's path, this podcast will expand beyond my ideas of it and echo across the expanse of eternity, and I lovingly welcome all who choose to journey alongside us. So, welcome to Sacred Pathways, where we connect to, expand, learn from, and share the heart's medicine and wisdom through storytelling, the sharing of spiritual wisdom, and conversations with courageous souls who continue to walk into the unknown, guided by the heart's message that there is another way to be, to live, to love on this earth that is more expansive and more conducive to life than what we currently know. This season will be filled with a bunch of things that I don't even know yet, because I am recording this before I have done anything else for this podcast. So let's journey together. If you are interested in sharing your heart path story, art, or in sharing a paradigm-shifting conversation on the podcast, you can find the application in the show notes or the description bar. There you will also find links to join our community on Substack, where I share personal and emergent audios related to the episode themes and my personal process of living and being another way. Come engage and connect with other listeners and co-journers in the gatherings and conversations held only on Substack. You can also find the link to my website, Jivan Mukta Healing, to learn more about the work that I do to be of service to the world at this time. Until then, I wish you and your beloveds peace and presence on the path and journey. Connect soon. Thank you for listening to Sacred Pathways, stories and wisdom from walking the heart's way. As a budding show, I would be incredibly grateful if you supported this podcast by giving us a rating, sharing this or any other episode with your loved ones in person and online, and letting me know in the comment section below how this episode resonated with you. Engagement is lovingly received and appreciated if you have received value from this. See you next time.